A few months ago, I uploaded a video about how to get reviews on your KDP books on Amazon. And in that video, I briefly touched on why you may not want to use review farms like Pubby and Book Bounty to get reviews for your books. Most of my hesitation just came from listening to other people's opinions and from just assuming that those types of sites must be a violation of Amazon's review guidelines. But a few weeks ago, I decided to check out both of these sites for myself, so I signed up to them just to see how they worked. And after doing that, I have to admit, I'm kind of impressed. Pubby and Book Bounty could quite possibly be the perfect tools for getting those first initial reviews on your newly published books that are being sold on Amazon. So in this video, I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison of both sites. I'm going to walk you step by step through how to use them, as well as explain to you why they don't violate Amazon's guidelines when it comes to reviews. I'm also going to show you how these two sites can be used for a lot more than just getting reviews. That being said, if you are someone who's looking for a way to get legitimate reviews on your KDP books, then keep watching. Hey guys, Greg here. Hope everybody's doing well. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to let you know that after using both Pubby and Book Bounty, I decided to affiliate myself with them. So just know that I have links to exclusive offers for both of these sites in the description section of this video. In fact, you can actually get 20% off a subscription to Pubby by simply using my promo code Craig20 at signup. So you'll be able to save yourself a few bucks if you're interested. Okay, let's get started. Now I'm going to go over the pros and cons of both Pubby and Book Bounty a little bit later on, but because both of these sites work pretty much exactly the same way, for now I'm just going to get started by showing you how they work and why they're not violating Amazon's guidelines as they pertain to reviews. Also, I was extremely surprised to find out that these sites can actually be used for far more than just getting reviews on your books. There are so many other benefits that an author can get out of using one of these sites. And I'm going to go through each and every one of those benefits in this video, so be sure and stick around to the very end. Okay, so let's start off with the monthly subscription fee that you have to pay to use one of these services. Does that monthly subscription buy you reviews for your books? No, because that would be a violation of Amazon's review guidelines. What your monthly subscription fee does get you on either of these sites is access to their library of books. So I guess the next question is, how can you as an author make use of this library of books? Well, there are two ways you can use this library. The first way is that you can withdraw books from the library that were created by other authors for the purpose of reading and potentially reviewing on Amazon. The second use is that you can place your own books into that library so that other authors can then potentially read and review your books. Did you notice that I keep using the word potentially? That's because neither of these sites actually guarantees that your book will be read or reviewed. I want to make this perfectly clear. You're not paying to get your book reviewed. You're paying for the opportunity to have your book listed in their library of books. So essentially, you're paying for advertising, which is one of the reasons why all of this is legal as far as Amazon's review guidelines go. Now, to understand why this system works so well, you first need to understand how it functions. So you pay your monthly subscription to get access to the library of books, and then once you've subscribed, you can withdraw and read any book that you want. Now there are a few different ways that you can access books in this library, and I'll get into those in just a bit, but for now, just know that every book in the library has a point value assigned to it. And the point values vary depending on how many pages the book contains, as well as the format the book is being offered in, and its price. And I'll get into all of that in just a bit. So basically, the way it works is, for a book to be submitted into the library, it must have a point value attached to it. Now, when somebody removes that book from the library, that point value that was assigned to the book will be transferred to the points account of the person who removed the book from the library. And as long as that person reads and reviews the book, they'll get to keep those points. So let's say that you select one of the free books that can be downloaded as a PDF file. That would be referred to on Pubby as taking an assignment. On Book Bounty, that's referred to as taking a bounty, but both terms mean exactly the same thing. As soon as you take that assignment or bounty, the point value that was assigned to that particular book will be transferred into your points account. Now, for those of you who are familiar with Amazon's review guidelines, you may be thinking, wait a minute, doesn't it go against Amazon's guidelines to require someone to leave a review in order to get a free book? And you'd be right, it is. But here's how these sites get around that. You don't have to leave a review on a book to receive a copy of it. So using this free download as an example, you can take the assignment or bounty, download the free book, and then just cancel the assignment, and you would still be able to keep the book even though you didn't leave a review. And this holds true of any of these book formats. If you download a book in any of these formats, whether it was a free promotion book offer on Amazon, an ebook from the Kindle Unlimited program, or a paid purchase, if you decide that you don't want to leave a review on the book, you can just cancel the assignment or the bounty and just keep the book. But what you can't keep are the points that are assigned to the book. So if you cancel an assignment or a bounty, the points that were transferred to your points account would be removed from your account, placed back on the book, and then the book would be placed back into the library for someone else to potentially read and review. So these sites in no way violate that Amazon guideline. You don't have to leave a review to get a copy of the book, but you do need to leave a review to get the points that are attached to the book. Now this next part is what makes these two sites kind of genius. A book can't be placed into the library unless it has a specified number of points attached to it. In other words, you can't list your book in the library unless you attach a certain amount of points to it first. And the primary way to acquire those points is to actually read and leave reviews on other authors' books that are listed in the library. So if an author wants to promote their book in the library, their best option is to read and review other authors' books from the library to acquire the points that they need to be able to promote their own book. And just know that the point value assigned to each book is predetermined by the word count in each book, the book's format, as well as the type of review being requested. And I'll elaborate further on that in just a minute. So small books with lower word counts that are being offered for free tend to have lower point values assigned to them, compared to books with higher word counts and that may require the user to purchase the book in order to remove it from the library. So the point value assigned to the book has nothing to do with the review itself. It's simply an incentive for people to choose your book over any of the other books listed in the library. The higher the point value, the more enticing the book is to readers who are trying to acquire points to place on their own books. It's kind of like air miles. Everything you buy has a point value attached to it. And if you save up those points, you can use them to get access to other services. Now this next part is extremely important. The point value that you receive for reviewing the book is in no way affected by the review you leave. So it doesn't matter whether you leave a glowing 5-star review or a scathing 1-star review, you still get the exact same amount of points. These points in no way influence the review at all. Although these points do encourage you to leave a review, they in no way have influence over what type of review you leave. And that's important because if they did influence the review in some way, then that would be a violation of Amazon's review guidelines. There's also one other thing that I want to point out. Once you leave a review on a particular author's book, none of the books that you authored yourself will ever appear in that author's library of reviewable books. So in other words, every single user of this site has their own personal book library to choose books from, and no two users' libraries have the exact same books in them. What books appear in your library for you to read and review all depend on which authors have already read and reviewed one of your books. So if an author has reviewed one of your books, you will never see one of their books listed in your library. This ensures that no two authors ever review each other's books, because that would also be a violation of Amazon's guidelines. I mean, think about it. If I review your book and you review mine, then we both have incentive to leave a good review. But if you know going into leaving the review on my book that I will never get to review any of your books on one of these sites, then there won't be any incentive for you to leave a good review just to please me. So you'll just end up leaving an honest review, and that's exactly what Amazon wants. Okay, now there are basically 4 methods in which an author can make their book available in the library. The first is by uploading the book's actual manuscript to the library. So that would be the PDF file that you as the author uploaded to KDP when you published your book. You can also use the EPUB format as well. This method is used mostly by one particular type of author, and that's authors who create books that are limited to physical copies. So that would include coloring books, activity books, puzzle books, or just any type of book that you would need to physically write in. So in other words, books that aren't normally made available in a Kindle ebook format. Now every other method requires that your book be available in a Kindle ebook format. So the second method for an author to make their book available in the library is to offer their Kindle ebook up for free through an Amazon promotion. Now these types of promotions can only be done on Amazon for 7 days, and you can only offer a promotion like this once every 90 days. And your ebook has to be enrolled in KDP Select to even be able to run a promotion like this. This method of offering comes with a lot of time restrictions. Because you can only run the offer for 7 days, and because it can only run once every 90 days, your book is only going to be available in the library for a very short window of time. Now, although this method does come with its limitations, it does make a free version of your Kindle ebook available to everyone, and not just to people who have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, so there is that benefit. But I personally feel that those time restrictions far outweigh that benefit. Which brings us to our third method of offering your book, and that's to make it available to those who have a monthly subscription to Kindle Unlimited. Now, there are additional benefits to using this method, and I'll get to those in just a bit. And before I move on, if you have your paper book published and you're not quite sure how to turn your paperback PDF file into a Kindle ebook format, I have a video that I recently uploaded that walks you step by step through how to do that. I'll put a link to that video at the end of this one, as well as in the description below. Okay, so let's jump to the fourth method. So the final method for making your book available in the library is to require the user to purchase your book. And it can only be done with a Kindle ebook purchase. Paperback and hardcover books are not covered with this option. And that's simply because most assignments have to be completed in no more than about 4 days, and most physical book shipments would take at least a few days to receive by mail. Now, this is also the option that you would have to choose to do that free promotion method I mentioned earlier. But I separated it from the paid versions because whereas the free promotion can only be offered for 7 days, all of these paid promotions can be offered indefinitely. So there aren't any time restrictions on them. That being said, your ebook does have to be selling on Amazon for one of these prices listed here. So in other words, your ebook needs to be selling on Amazon for either 99 cents, $1.99, $2.99, $3.99, or $4.99. It can't be set at any other price. And this holds true for Pubby as well as Book Bounty. Now, as for which price you offer your ebook for, all depends on what your ebook's production cost was. Now, when it comes to Kindle ebooks, what determines the production cost of your book is the book's file size. So the larger your ebook's file size is, the more money Amazon is going to charge you to produce it. Now, what determines the file size of your ebook has a lot to do with how many pages are in your ebook, as well as how many graphics are in the book. The more pages and graphics there are, the larger your file size is going to be. So as an example, my children's picture ebook, Who Stepped in the Pooh, is only 50 pages long. But because it has a lot of high quality graphics in it, the file size is fairly large. As a result, the production cost of my ebook is just over $2. And since Amazon won't allow you to lower your book's price below the production cost, unless you're running a 7-day free promotional offer, I can't list my ebook for anything less than $2.99. So that's the lowest price that I can offer my ebook for on Amazon. Now, if you had a 50-page book of poems that didn't have any graphics in it, due to the smaller file size, you might be able to offer your ebook for around 99 cents. So which of these amounts you choose all has to do with the retail price that Amazon will allow you to lower your book to. Obviously, the lower your book's price is, the more enticing it's going to be to potential readers and reviewers. Also, keep in mind that the more words that there are in your book, as well as the higher the price to purchase is, the more points it's going to cost you, the author, to list your book in either of these libraries. Okay, so now that you know what all the options are for offering your book, let's go through the pros and cons of using each of these options. When it comes to the first option, which is the free PDF giveaway, the only real benefit of this option is that you could potentially get a review on your book. Now you need to understand something. There are 2 types of written reviews on Amazon. The first is called a standard review. This is how a review appears on the product page when the book hasn't actually been purchased by the reviewer. The second type of review is a verified purchase review. The only time a review appears as a verified purchase review on Amazon is when the reviewer actually pays money for the book. So reviews that are left by people who acquire your book by downloading it as a free PDF file or who download it as part of their Kindle Unlimited subscription don't qualify as verified purchases. Now you may be thinking, why don't Kindle Unlimited ebooks count as a verified purchase? I mean, you're paying for a subscription, aren't you? It's because when you download a book through Kindle Unlimited, you're not actually buying it, you're borrowing it. If you were to cancel your subscription to Kindle Unlimited, all of the books that you downloaded while you were subscribed would disappear from your Kindle library. So for that reason, only books that a customer actually pays money for are considered verified purchases. So why is this even important? It's because verified purchase reviews tend to hold more weight with potential customers. Anyone can leave a standard review on a book even if they haven't read or purchased it. But a verified purchase review can only be left if the person actually purchased the book. So it's just a more reliable review in the customer's eyes. Okay, so the only benefit of offering your book through the free download PDF format is that you can potentially get a review on your book. Because the product is free, it won't be listed as a verified purchase review. And because the book is not being downloaded from the Amazon website, it won't affect your book's sales ranking at all. So I would only recommend using this option if the book you're trying to get reviewed only comes in a physical copy, like a coloring book, journal, or puzzle book. That way, if the people who are reviewing your book actually want to use it, they can just print it out on their home computer. Okay, so the second option, which is the Kindle Unlimited option, comes with a few more advantages. Now to start off, this option will also appear as a standard review on Amazon, just like the free giveaway does. But because the book is being downloaded from Amazon, it comes with two additional benefits. The first is that you can actually make a royalty on this download. A lot of people don't realize this about Kindle Unlimited, but because Kindle Unlimited is a subscription-based service, Amazon sets aside a portion of all the subscription fees paid for any particular month and creates a pool, or a fund. Then at the end of the month, they count up the total number of pages that were read by people using the Kindle Unlimited service, and then they divide the dollar value of the pool by the number of pages read. This gives them a dollar value for every page that was read. For most months, the dollar value is fairly low. It's usually something like 0.004 cents per page, and that amount can vary from month to month. So as an example, on my 50-page children's ebook, Who Stepped in the Pooh, one entire read-through of the book will usually give me around a 20-cent royalty. It's not a lot, but if enough people review your book this way, it can actually begin to offset the cost of the monthly subscription you're paying for either of these review sites. Now the second benefit of using this method is that because the ebook is being downloaded from the Amazon Marketplace, it does affect your ebook sales ranking. When it comes to paperback or hardcover books, you usually have to sell quite a few books to rank in the top 100 of any particular category. But when it comes to Kindle ebooks, that doesn't seem to be the case. From my experience, between 5 to 8 ebooks downloaded per week, whether they be paid purchases or Kindle Unlimited downloads, are usually enough to get your ebook into the top 100 paid ebooks for most categories. So if you're using either of these two Kindle options to get your book reviews, and you're requesting between 5 to 8 reviews per week, that should be enough to rank your ebook into the top 100 of at least one or two of your categories. And then once your ebook is there, because more Amazon customers are seeing it, your ebook is far more likely to sell organically just due to the additional exposure that it's getting from being on those lists. So using review sites like Pubby and Book Bounty are not only a great way to get more reviews on your books, but they're also a great way to get more exposure for your books on the top 100 category lists, as well as in Amazon's overall search. Understand something, what you're doing here is no different than paying to advertise your book on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. In all of these situations, you're paying a fee to promote your book to a group of people. The only difference with Pubby and Book Bounty is that you're far more likely to get a review on your ebook after the sale because of the point system being utilized by these sites. Now just know that when it comes to the verified purchase option, the benefits are the same as using the Kindle Unlimited option. The only difference is that you actually receive a predetermined royalty on your ebook sale as opposed to a percentage of the KENP fund. So because you're making an actual sale, your royalty is probably going to be much higher, depending on what you set your ebook's royalty at. Now keep in mind that what I'm talking about here with Pubby and Book Bounty, as far as sales ranking is concerned, only applies to your Kindle ebook. When it comes to affecting the sale rank of your paperback and hardcover books, you need to sell those types of books to affect your book rankings in those categories, and Amazon ads are still one of the best ways to do that. And if you're not sure how to use Amazon ads, I have a video that walks you through that entire process, and I'll put a link to it at the end of this video, as well as in the description below. Okay, so that's how both Pubby and Book Bounty work. Now let's take a look at them side by side to see which one's better for you. Now both of these sites function pretty much the same. That being said, there are some major differences between them. When it comes to the user interface, Book Bounty's is much cleaner, more modern looking, and better organized than Pubby's is. Pubby has all of the exact same functions as Book Bounty. It's just that the interface isn't laid out as well as Book Bounty's is. That being said, I do believe that Pubby's been around a lot longer than Book Bounty, so that could be why. It's not a deal breaker for me when it comes to using Pubby, so it really doesn't bother me. But I would say that Book Bounty is the clear winner in the category of user interface, so they get the check for that one. Now the next category is for how many users each site has. The more users there are, the more books there are to review, and therefore the easier it is to accumulate points. And the more users there are, the more people there are to review your books. So the easier it'll be to get reviews on those books. The amount of users on both of these sites varies from week to week. And from what I've seen, they're pretty much identical. So there are a lot of books to review, and there are a lot of users to review your books on both of these sites. So for this category, they both get a check. Now when it comes to uploading your book to one of these sites so that it can be entered into the library, once again, the process for both is exactly the same. The only difference is that Book Bounty's interface is a little cleaner. But just like on Book Bounty, the entire upload process is on one page. It's just that on Pubby, each step is only revealed to you one section at a time. I think they do that to make sure that you don't miss anything. But either way, the process is the same. So you'll start off by listing your book's title and author. Next, you'll have to choose the type of bounties, or assignments in Pubby's case, that you want to offer. So you can choose the standard option, and in this case, this is where you would upload your book's manuscript in either PDF or EPUB format. Again, only use this option if your book isn't offered in a Kindle ebook format. And the next two options are for Kindle Unlimited, which your ebook has to be enrolled into the KDP Select program to use this option, and a verified purchase. Just know that you can select one or all of these options. It's entirely up to you. All you're doing at this stage is deciding which options you want to have made available to you when you do decide to create a bounty or an assignment for your book to be reviewed. So if I only choose Kindle Unlimited and verified purchase at this point, then when I go to create a bounty or an assignment for my book so that someone else can read and review it, I'll only have two options to choose from, and they'll be the options that I selected when I was uploading my book. And whenever you create a bounty or assignment, you'll be given the option to choose the amount of days that you want to give the reader to complete it. Also, just know that whatever option you choose will have a predetermined point value assigned to it. So if I choose Kindle Unlimited, based on my book's word count, it would cost me 1,260 points to create this bounty on Book Bounty. On Pubby, it would cost me 1,250 points for the same assignment. If I choose verified purchase, the point value will be determined by the book's price. The higher the price, the more points that are required. And just know that Pubby operates exactly the same way. Based on my book's length, I can only choose up to 3 days for the assignment to be completed on Pubby, or 4 days on Book Bounty. So as you can see, both sites are pretty much identical. Okay, so going back to the book upload, once you've chosen the options that you want to use, then you can upload the PNG for the front cover of your book. Remember, this image will just serve as your book's thumbnail on this website, so only upload an image of your front cover, not the entire cover. This next section is where you'll enter in the URL to your Amazon product page. If you're going to be using any of the Kindle options, make sure that the link you're giving them is to the Kindle format of your book. And make sure that you're logged into your Amazon account when you're grabbing the link. If you are, the URL will be much shorter. Now you can use this entire link, but all you really need is this part here. If you highlight this URL and then right-click on it and choose Open in a new tab, it'll take you right to your product page. Next, you'll have to choose a genre for your book, as well as add in the book's description. You can just copy the description from your book's Amazon product page. And then you just submit the book for approval. It can take anywhere from 24 to 48 hours to get an approval. And as I said earlier, the process is exactly the same on Pubby. It's just revealed one section at a time. As far as which is better in this case, since I've already given Book Bounty a point for having a cleaner interface, and that's really the only difference between the two, I'm going to give them both a check for ease of use, because it's just as easy to upload a book on either site. When it comes to viewing your books, on Book Bounty, once again you have that nice clean interface. You can see which books are ready for bounties and which ones are still in draft mode, if you have any that you're still working on. And each of your books has 4 metrics on it. How many reviews the book has gotten so far, what the average rating is, how many bounties you have out looking for readers, and how many people are currently reading your book. Now on Pubby, you get the exact same information, it's just laid out a little bit differently. Now when it comes to viewing the information about your book and its reviews, this is where the two sites differ. When you click on your book on Book Bounty, you'll have the option to start a bounty or edit your book's information. You'll also be able to see how many bounties are in progress, as well as the ratings that you've received so far on your book. So here's the information that you're given about your reviews. You're given the star rating, a reference number for the user who left the review, the date the review was posted on Amazon, and what type of review option it was. So in other words, was it a standard review or a verified purchase review? What you're not given on Book Bounty is the Amazon profile name of the reviewer or a link to the review itself on Amazon. This is the first thing that I don't really care for about Book Bounty, and here's why. If we compare the information that you get on Book Bounty to the information that you get on Pubby, you can see that on Pubby, you get the star rating, the review date, as well as the type of review that it was, just like on Book Bounty. But you also get the reviewer's Amazon profile name, a link to the review on Amazon, as well as an option to report any issues that you might have with the review that was left. And I want to go over these three features because there's a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to them. Now, when it comes to revealing the reviewer's Amazon profile name, I've heard some KDP YouTubers say that this is a violation of Amazon's review guidelines, but according to those guidelines, it's not. This is all the personal information that is not allowed to be posted in the review. The reviewer's Amazon profile name is not included in here. Now, a typical Amazon profile name doesn't have to be the user's real name, or for that matter, the name associated with their Amazon account. You can use a nickname or a made-up name. It doesn't really matter what you use, just as long as you're not using a name that is trademarked or that misleads the customer into thinking that you're someone that you're not. So you have an option as to what name you use for your Amazon profile name. Now, the only reason that Amazon doesn't want you to put your personal information into your reviews is because they don't want the author whose book you reviewed or other customers to be able to contact you to try and influence or change the review. And for that reason, Amazon doesn't give customers the option to contact a reviewer through their profile page. So it really doesn't matter if anyone sees your Amazon profile name. Now, I use my real name because I'm an Amazon influencer and my influencer page is tied to my YouTube channel. And since I use my real name on my YouTube channel, I may as well just use my real name straight across the board when it comes to reviews. But take notice that there isn't any way to contact me from my influencer page either. Amazon will never disclose any contact information for any of its customers or reviewers. So Pubby showing the reviewer's profile name here is not a violation of Amazon's guidelines. In fact, if it was a violation, then 90% of authors on Amazon, as well as Amazon themselves, would be in violation of their own guidelines. Because most authors give away free physical copies of their books before they launch them as a way to try and get some early reviews on their book before it's published. So what they do is send physical copies of their book to people on their mailing list. And to send a physical book to somebody, you not only need their real name, but you also need their real address as well. And if the person that they send the book to is using their real name as their Amazon profile name, then the author will end up knowing who submitted the review for the books that they gave away. Authors and publishers do this all the time, and Amazon seems to be fine with it. In fact, Amazon does this themselves. Amazon owns Goodreads, and authors can utilize a service that Amazon provides to give away free copies of their books in sort of a contest. Now, people who win a free book often leave a review for it on Goodreads, and in that review will often mention that they won the book in a giveaway. And Amazon has no problem showing the profile name of the person leaving the review. And many of the reviewers will also copy their review from Goodreads and then paste it onto the Amazon product page as well, just to help out the author. So Amazon is giving me, the author, the Goodreads profile name, as well as the Amazon profile name of this reviewer who received a free copy of my ebook from Amazon themselves. So if what Pubby is doing here goes against Amazon's guidelines, then Amazon themselves are also violating their own guidelines. So showing the reviewer's profile name doesn't seem to be an issue with Amazon. Now, the second feature that I want to discuss is the copy link feature. With this link, you can click on that button and then open up a new browser window and then paste the URL into the URL box. Doing this will take you directly to the review on Amazon. Again, this seems to be a non-issue when it comes to Amazon's review guidelines. It's okay for you to see the review that was left by someone you gave a book to, just as long as you can't contact them, which you're unable to do on either Pubby or through the reviewer's Amazon profile page. Now, there are two major reasons why you want to be able to see the written review on Amazon for yourself. The first is just to make sure that it's actually there. On Book Bounty, you're taking the word of Book Bounty that the review has actually been posted. Only they can actually see it. And this could become an issue in certain situations. Let me explain. Now, here's a little scenario. Imagine you get 3 reviews on your book on the exact same date, May 21st, 2025. And they're all standard reviews, meaning that they don't have a verified purchase tag on them. Now imagine that only one of those reviews came from Book Bounty, while the other 2 came from customers who downloaded your book from Kindle Unlimited. So you have no way of knowing which review came from Book Bounty. Now imagine that one of the 3 reviews is deleted from the review section of your book's Amazon product page. Because you don't know which review was from Book Bounty, you have no way of knowing if this review on Book Bounty is still up on Amazon. If it turns out that it was the Book Bounty review that was deleted, then you just shelled out 1,260 points for a review that you didn't get. And there are a lot of reasons why a review may get deleted. It really doesn't matter why it was taken down. All that matters is the fact that it's no longer there and you gave up points to receive that review. And neither Pubby nor Book Bounty has the time to check every one of your reviews every few days to make sure that they're still there. So the only way that they'll know that it's been deleted is if you tell them. Now with Book Bounty, because you have no idea of what the review was or of the profile name of the customer who left it, for all you know, the Book Bounty review could still be on the product page. Or maybe not. And just know that this does happen. In fact, I've had it happen to me on Pubby. The only difference is that because of this link on Pubby, I knew the review had been deleted. So I was able to report it to Pubby and get my points refunded. Now the second reason that this link is important is because only verified purchase reviews show up on all Amazon product pages around the world. Standard reviews only get posted on the product page in the country that they were left in. So let's say I'm in the US and I see that I've gotten a standard review left from one of the users on Book Bounty. But when I go to my product page on Amazon.com, there are no reviews from that day. Did I actually get a review, or is Book Bounty just lying to me? No, they're not lying to you. The review was probably just posted in a different country. So if you want to find it, you'll have to go to your Amazon bookshelf and then visit your book's product page in every country. And having to do that is a pain in the butt. Whereas with Pubby, even if the review is posted in a different country, I can still see it via this link. So why is it so important to be able to see the review anyway? It's because all reviews are important feedback on your book, especially those that come from sites like Pubby and Book Bounty. Most of the people who leave reviews on these sites are authors, and authors tend to leave very valuable constructive criticism about your book. This is one of those additional benefits that I mentioned at the beginning of the video that you can get from using sites like Pubby and Book Bounty. The constructive criticism that you get from other authors can be extremely valuable. Authors will often point out mistakes that you may have missed during the creation process of your book. If you want your book to succeed, then you need to be paying attention to these reviews and even act on them if there's a problem. And this button on Pubby just makes that process so much easier. Now, as I said earlier, if the review that the reviewer left is no longer posted on Amazon, you can report it to Pubby for a refund of the points, and you can do that through this button here. Now, I've also heard KDP YouTubers state that this report issue feature is also a problem when it comes to KDP's guidelines because it could be used to influence the review in some way. Okay, let me make something perfectly clear here. If you receive a bad review on your book, there is nothing that Pubby or Book Bounty can do about it. Once a review is posted on Amazon, the only people that can alter that review are the customer who left it or Amazon themselves. That's not what this report issue button is for. It's to report discrepancies in the point system on Pubby. So as I said earlier, if you find out that a review has been removed from the Amazon platform, you can use this button to report it to Pubby. And if they verify that what you're saying is true, then they will refund you your points for that review. Or let's say that the assignment that you ordered was for a verified purchase review. This type of review requires the reviewer to purchase your ebook. And for doing that, they would receive 1,950 points instead of the 1,250 that is given out for a standard review. But let's say that when they go to download your ebook, they realize that it's available on Kindle Unlimited. And since they have a subscription to Kindle Unlimited, they decide not to buy your ebook and they just download it using their subscription. That Kindle Unlimited review that they leave will not show up as a verified purchase review, which is what they agreed to and were given points for. So if you were to see that, then you could report it to Pubby. Pubby would then verify that what you're saying is true and then refund you the 700-point difference between the two review types. Again, there is nothing Pubby can do to change the review itself. This report issue button is just to ensure that no one abuses the points system and that every author is getting the type of review that they requested, whether it be a standard or a verified purchase review. Look, if someone leaves a review that is a clear violation of Amazon's guidelines, and it somehow makes it past Amazon's review process, like let's say it's a direct copy of your book's description section, or that the review is for a blender rather than a children's book. If you want that review to be removed from your book's review section on Amazon, then you as the author need to report it to Amazon. So let's say Amazon agrees with you that the review is a violation of their guidelines and deletes the review. That doesn't get you your points back on Pubby. You would need to report this to Pubby so that they could then verify that what you're saying is true, and if it is, then they would refund your points. So this report issue button only has to do with points. Does the issue that you're bringing to the attention of Pubby justify you getting the points you spent on the review refunded? That's what it's used for and nothing more. And as I said earlier, I've had this happen to me where one of my reviews was deleted. And it was nice to have this button here just to have the situation resolved quickly. And just know something, if a reviewer on Book Bounty leaves the wrong type of review on your book, like a standard review instead of a verified purchase review, Book Bounty will most likely catch this when they go to verify the review, and then make the point change automatically. And when it comes to reviews being deleted, if after doing a bit of research you can prove to Book Bounty that your review has in fact been deleted, there is a way to contact them to try and rectify this situation. That is, if you can figure out which review came from Book Bounty. But it's just a far lengthier process than Pubby's. And for me, that convenience of being able to see the review on Amazon, as well as be able to easily report any point issues that may arise, is why Pubby gets another check. Okay, so if we look at the comparison so far, Book Bounty wins for having a cleaner user interface. They both tie when it comes to the number of customers using the site, as well as for the ease of uploading a book. Now, when it comes to being able to see the review and report any point discrepancies, Pubby is the clear winner here. Okay, so the next thing that we need to cover is how to actually review a book. Once again, the process is pretty much identical on both sites. On Pubby, you just click on the Library tab in the left-hand column, and then once you enter the library, you can separate the books by format, language, and genre. So if you only want to view Kindle Unlimited ebooks that are in English and in the genre of children's fiction, you can easily narrow down your search to just those books. On Book Bounty, it's pretty much the same, except you can't filter by language, and that can be annoying at times. So when it comes to the bounty itself, you're given the due date of the bounty, how many points it's worth, how many words are in the book, as well as what type of bounty it is. On Pubby, you're given the exact same information. Now on Pubby, once you select a book to read and review, a footer will rise up from the bottom of the page giving you the option to pick the book assignment. If you pick it, whatever number of points had been assigned to the book will automatically be added to your points account. After that, Pubby is going to give you a list of things that you need to do within the next few days. You'll first need to access the book, and that will vary depending on the format the book is in. Then you'll need to read the book, post your review on Amazon, and then turn in your assignment. So the boxes will get checked as you complete them. This process is pretty much the same on Book Bounty. If you decide at some point that you don't want to take this assignment or bounty, you can just cancel it, and then the points will be removed from your points account, placed back on the book, and then the book will be inserted back into the library for someone else to review. Okay, so let's just quickly go through how to do a review on Pubby. So I'm going to choose a verified purchase assignment from the children's fiction genre. I'll choose this one here. Okay, so I have 3 days to complete this assignment. Pubby also gives me a reminder that this is a verified purchase assignment, so I have to actually purchase the ebook. I can't just download it using my Kindle Unlimited subscription because that review wouldn't appear on this author's product page as a verified purchase review. It would be a standard review, and that's not what they're requesting. Once I've purchased the book, I have a choice. I can read it right there on my Kindle browser app, or I can download the ebook to my desktop Kindle reader and just read it there. Next, I'll go and read the book. Once I've read it, I'll check off the Read the Book box. Now, even though this book was a very short read, I don't recommend posting your reviews to Amazon for at least an hour after you've downloaded it. You could even hold off until the next day, and that would be fine. You don't want to give Amazon the impression that you're not taking this review seriously. Okay, so when you're ready to leave your review, just click the Post on Amazon button to leave your review. It's really important that you click on this button to leave your review and not just head over to the book's product page on Amazon to leave the review there. Doing this will allow Pubby to track all of your steps to make sure that you've completed the assignment properly. Just make sure that you post your review on the product page in the same country that you downloaded the ebook from. If you don't do this, sometimes Amazon won't post your review. Once your review is posted, head back over to Pubby and click on the Turn in Assignment button. Pubby's going to want to know what star rating you gave the book. Pick the rating and then just click the Submit Review button. Now when it comes to turning in the bounty on Book Bounty, in addition to the star rating, You're also going to have to copy and paste the actual Word review that you left on Amazon into the text box. So just make sure that you copy your review to the clipboard before you submit it to Amazon. Now, once all of that is done, you just have to wait. Amazon will notify you by email when your review has been posted. On your assignments page, the assignment will be listed as turned in. Now, you'll notice that all of the other assignments say completed. The assignment is not complete until you submit the URL link from the review on Amazon, and you'll be able to get that URL link from the email that Amazon will send you once your review is posted. When you get that email, just click on the link to view the review, click on the permalink hyperlink, and then copy the entire URL from that page, and then just go back to Pubby, find the book you reviewed, and then click on the Submit Review Link button. Then just paste the URL into the text box. Then just submit it. Now the assignment will be listed as complete. This last process is exactly the same on Book Bounty as it is on Pubby. So on Pubby, it's inside of your reader where you'll be able to see all of your assignments. On Book Bounty, it's under the My Bounties tab. And that's all there is to reviewing a book. Since the process is pretty much exactly the same on both sites, both Pubby and Book Bounty will get a check for ease of use. Okay, so the last thing I want to compare are the subscription prices. When it comes to Book Bounty, there's basically one subscription with two different price options. The subscription is their unlimited publisher subscription, and it comes with two payment options. The first is $25 per month, and the second is $180 per year, which if you pay yearly works out to around $15 per month. And with both of these options, you can upload and get reviews on as many books as you want. Now when it comes to Pubby, they actually offer more subscriptions than you see here. The first subscription is the $30 per month option, which with my 20% discount would be around $24 per month. Or you could go yearly for $240, and with my 20% discount, that would work out to around $192 per year, which when you break it down works out to paying around $16 per month. So it's quite a bit of a savings. And both of these subscriptions allow you to upload and get reviews on as many books as you want. Now here's where Pubby differs from Book Bounty. Let's say you sign up for the first month for your discounted price of $24, and then you decide to cancel your subscription because it's too expensive for you at the end of the month. When you go to cancel your subscription, Pubby will ask you why you're canceling. If you choose the option because it's too expensive, they'll offer you another subscription price. The first option that they'll give you is for $17.99 per month for a maximum of 10 books. So in other words, you can't upload or get reviews on any more than 10 of your own books with this subscription. If it's your intention to keep your subscription for the entire year, then rather than take this option, you'd be better off just to purchase the yearly subscription with my 20% discount right from the start. That would work out to just $16 per month, and you'd be able to upload as many books as you want as opposed to just 10. So it's actually a better offer. Now, if you decline that option and tell them that it's still too expensive, they'll come back with a second option. This one will be for $11.99 per month with a maximum of 5 books, so you can only upload and get reviews on 5 of your own books with this subscription. This is a great option for authors who only have a few books uploaded to Amazon. Now, because of the additional subscription options, this category definitely leans in Pubby's favor. So for subscriptions, Pubby gets the check. All right, let's take a final look at how both of these sites compare. When it comes to user interface, Book Bounty is the clear winner for theirs being cleaner and more modern looking. When it comes to the number of users on both sites, meaning the number of people uploading books for you to review so that you can accumulate points, and the number of people that are available to review your books, both sites are about equal. Although Pubby does seem to get more Kindle Unlimited uploads than Book Bounty does. When it comes to level of difficulty when it comes to uploading a book, both sites are equally easy and intuitive. And the same holds true for the process of requesting a review for your book. The process on both sites is extremely simple. When it comes to the review stats for your books, as well as being able to see the reviews left on your book and being able to report issues as they pertain to point discrepancies, Pubby is the clear winner on that one. As for the level of difficulty when it comes to reviewing books, the process on both sites is once again extremely easy. As far as subscriptions are concerned, both sites are around the same price monthly as well as yearly when it comes to their unlimited subscriptions. That being said, Pubby does offer all those additional subscription options which can come in handy depending on your current financial situation. And I just like the fact that you have all of these additional options. For me, the one thing that stands out about Book Bounty is their user interface. Other than that, everything they offer can be found on Pubby as well. That being said, Pubby giving me the option to see my reviews on Amazon, report discrepancies, and offering me a lower subscription price since I only have a few books to promote and don't need an unlimited subscription right now are features that are far more important to me. I can overlook Pubby's outdated interface if I'm getting all of those additional features. So for me, I lean towards Pubby. But that being said, both Pubby and Book Bounty are both great sites for getting legitimate reviews on your KDP books, and I highly recommend them both. Just know that both sites offer a free trial period, so I recommend that you try them out. Both Pubby and Book Bounty can be a great addition to your self-publishing toolbox. Not only are they a great way to get legitimate reviews on your KDP books, but they can also be an incredible source for constructive criticism, especially when you're first launching your book. And if you use them properly, you can even help your Kindle ebooks rank higher in Amazon search. Once again, I just want to remind you that I have links to exclusive offers for both of these sites in the description section of this video, and that you can actually get 20% off a subscription to Pubby by simply using my promo code Craig20 at signup. Now, to truly reap all of the benefits of using either of these sites, you need to have a Kindle ebook version of your children's book available on Amazon. So if you're not sure how to convert your paperback manuscript into a Kindle ebook format, I have a video that walks you step by step through that entire process, and you can find a link to it right here. Until next time, take care.